Say
basically,
Merry Christmas,
it's a day.
okay?
It's a day. It's just a day off for me. I'm not
Yeah.
like there's no religious portion of this for me. It's all like it does. I will say at Christmas time, I try to be remind myself to be nicer, to give more if I can. Like um, even if it's just something real small, just I try to remind myself that I fail all the time at it though because I'm just I can be curmudgeon-y sometimes.
Yeah, I have a friend, actually, guy in another show. He's having a really tough time right now with a legal issue.
Oh
He's
no.
really dead broke. He's got a kid, blah, and he's got a GoFundMe thing. And yesterday I just tossed him $100 so he could have dinner. And it was a little gesture, but man, it felt good to do that. I've bought
Yeah.
people their holiday dinners before. It's just it feels good because we're so blessed,
Yes.
and it's good to share that a little bit.
It is, man. It is. All right. What's up, Taylor? Thank you. Thanks for the comments. It's awesome. Yeah, dude, I'm with you. But here's the other thing about it. Sometimes when I donate stuff, I just do it anonymously because
uh
I'm not doing it to get a pat in the back or to you know to get any applause. And it's usually not that much. If I had more to give, I would. But I give what I can. And but I feel like there's times where some people are like, just can't wait to be like, I donated to this, so just I donated. It's I guess
Yeah, I don't
whatever.
like that shit. I'm like you. I generally do it anonymously. Like when you do what is it, crowdfunding? They always ask
Yeah.
if you want to do it anonymously. I always check that box.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So I did. I
Yeah.
was running the other day with did some barefoot running
Yeah, I
outside.
was going to ask you how that went. Did you
It was
slice
it.
your feet up?
I didn't slice my feet up, but I mean, it was certainly there's a lot of discomfort. I might do it again because it just snowed. I might try it again for a little bit, and I did it at the end. And I wouldn't say I did like I wasn't like a marathon. You know what I mean? I ran like maybe a half mile, and I was just just getting used to it because not something I was used to. But my feet they're burning. It was my hands were burning actually more than my feet, and I'm like, what is going on? So, but it was it sucked, but it's something I wanted to do. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I have a water feature thing I built out here, and it's basically a stream that splits off, and goes around, two different ways, and then merges back and creates an island. And where it merges back, I had to build a dam to raise the water level so I could have a waterfall
Hmm.
at the other end where it splits
Right.
off. So over the course of the last couple of years and some big storms, the thing flooded and it moved some of the rocks and it lowered the water level and it needed to be restacked.
Yeah.
The rocks at the end. So I have these boots, these rubber boots that go up to about my knee, and I'm standing in the water, and I'm got gloves on, and I'm lifting these rocks and stacking them up. And all of a sudden, I realize my feet are frozen,
Yeah.
solid. I mean, blocks of ice. I'm standing in this, it's 20. It was 27 degrees for the last couple nights. So yeah, I was standing, and then eventually, what happens is the rubber acts as a great insulator for a while, and then when it stops, it's like instantaneous. Goes from something comfortable to something ready to give you frostbite.
Yeah.
So that limited my fun in the stream in the winter.
Oh,
So
yeah. It's but whatever. It's something to do. I'll try it probably at some point again. Again, maybe today, just because it doing that stuff again, as weird as it sounds. I've been going through a lot of old footage of everything that has been done in the past year, stuff that we can put on the YouTube page for us. Just really digging through and trying to organize my life for once. It's not working so well, but I'm trying. And I'm seeing all this stuff and it's reminding me that yeah, like I definitely feel more motivated and alive and all this stuff when I'm doing things that I at first am hesitant about.
mhm.
Like I
Yeah.
don't want to run outside with bare feet, but I did it and it felt good. I was like, okay, I'm in. Like it was just another part of training. It was just something different. So it's just reminding me to keep this momentum going into the new year and not starting on January 1st. I'm starting now,
No.
but
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
you know,
that's a whole other can of worms right there. The New Year's resolution crowd. You know, it seems to me to me it's such an overt signal of weakness that you have to declare some sort of change to take place on New Year's Day. It's like, why not today? Why does it have to be New Year's Day? Why couldn't it have been yesterday? Why does it have to be New Year's Day? And no one's got a cogent answer for that. It's like, well, it's New Year's resolution. I go, so what? Make it today. Why wait? And especially if it's something like I'm going to improve myself in some way, why
Right.
would you wait to improve yourself for a specific date on a calendar? You should do it now. So
Well, it's funny, right?
not
Because we read those stats and studies and surveys and everything, and people ditch these resolutions uh, weeks after they start them.
weeks.
So you're right. Why? And it's usually because it's all or nothing, right? People are like, I'm going to stop everything. I'm going to change my whole life around. And then you realize that doing that is miserable and it's not sustainable. So what you really need to do is come up with a system that works for you, even if it's slowly integrating these things into your life or lifestyle to make changes where you're not just depriving yourself of all these things at once. You're bound to fail or give up. I know I do, and I'm talking from personal point of view that when I do that, it never works out. So
Yeah, I find that just sort of people in general always are looking for the easy way. I mean, I think it's human nature.
sure,
I don't think that's
it
a
is.
dig on any one specific person, but human nature is to try to do things the easier way, find an easier way, find a workaround, find
Yeah, of
another, alternative. And
course.
in some things, you just don't have that option. You just either have failure or success. And the success is going to be based on a lot of uncomfortable shit.
Hmm.
And you got to agree to do it. So if you don't, who gets shortchanged? Only you. So because you're trying to do something to better yourself, so you create all these conditions and barriers for your success by limiting your progress by waiting for a specific date to start something. And then, as you just said, we have the statistics. When I was in the gym business, it was insane. We would have these huge influxes of people for January 1st. By March 1st, 30% of them were gone.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's I don't know, and that's the thing. I don't do resolutions. I never have, and I don't even. I've stopped even telling people where when I'm doing like a goal because then it's like I know some people are like that's good for accountability and maybe for some folks it is, but for me it just it ends up being more conversations than I want. It ends up me being having to explain why I altered something, or I feel obligated to explain it. So it's just easier if I keep it between to myself. So all of that stuff can be ironed out much later on if I need to make a change or even just change the goal completely.
yeah,
But
then you have your subconscious that fucks with you
oh
because
yeah, hmm
I got this cruise coming up. So I bought a bunch of clothes for the cruise because you got to have I hadn't bought new clothes in quite a while, and you needed a bunch of nice stuff to go on a cruise in the Caribbean. So lightweight, all shit I don't have. So I
right,
went on this massive shopping spree. I bought the whole wardrobe, and it all had to go and get tailored. Of course, nothing fits me off the rack except large T-shirts, and then even then, it's a gamble. So it's not even work. Anyway, I had a dress, so I get all the shit. And the other, I don't know, a few days ago, I brought all of this shit to the tailor, tried it all on. They pinned it, marked it, hemmed it with the chalk, all of that shit. Take it all, putting it in. They said, it'll be ready, whenever. I had a dream last night that I picked all the stuff up, and for some reason I didn't stick to the diet I was following to go on the cruise with to get ready for the cruise, and none of my clothes fit. So I fattened out of all of my new wardrobe and couldn't wear any of it. That was in my dream.
it's yeah. I have clothes in my closet from when I was still working in Manhattan and was wearing actual like clothes where it looked like I was going to work. And
Like
man,
suits.
well, no, but like just like button downs and like real
Yeah.
nice ones. And I got them all. There's a few services that are really affordable, and I got them for custom. So like you get like two for $60, and they were like
Oh,
custom.
wow.
Yeah, I looked in there the other day, and there was, I'm not kidding, like a layer of dust on them. Like that's how much I wear them. I'm like, oh, can I even fit in them? Probably not, because I'm certainly top heavier now than I was because of just my training style.
Right.
And I'm like, I should just give them away. I mean, I don't need them anymore. It's just taking up space for no reason.
Yeah, I still have remnants of my professional days as a broker, where I have my suits in there that literally on the collar there's that dust all on the collar and the
Exactly.
lapels. I haven't worn them in decades, and I don't know why I'm still dragging them around with me. I don't think any of them fit anymore.
No,
But
I'm the same.
every time I move, I bring them with me
And I
because I
put
don't know why.
sometimes I squeezed into one because I had to go to like a funeral, and I swear the buttons were hanging on for dear life. It was like I'm like, okay, this is not working. Hey, we have a question here from
Wow,
bipolar
finally.
mom and criminologist.
Oh, good. I
She
love
says,
her.
I know, she's awesome. I'm thinking about
Yeah.
incorporating hit workouts into my routine. What does John think? So, before we jump into this, I think it's important to explain the difference between interval training and high intent hit, because one is maximal effort, right? And the other is just moderate to high effort at specific intervals. I mean, it's used interchangeably typically, but that is from what I know or what I recall. Those are the actual definitions. Am I right there?
Um, Sort of. Yeah. Hit training is different than high intensity training. It's HIT versus HITT. So
She's
it's
got
high.
TT there. Or no, she's
Yeah,
got HIIT. Sorry. Oh, yeah. So high intensity interval training.
interval training.
Yeah.
Yeah, high intensity interval training versus high intensity training.
Right. Right.
High intensity training is weightlifting,
Right.
basically going to the one set theory pioneered by Arthur Jones and made famous by Mike Menser. So,
Hmm.
what that basically, in a nutshell, boils down to is all you need to stimulate muscle growth is one set done to absolute total failure.
Hmm.
The problem with that is sharing the perception of failure is almost impossible, because what most people perceive as pain that causes them to stop their set is not failure, it's just pain. Failure is the actual interruption in the nerve impulse from your brain to the muscle, where your brain says contract and your muscle says fuck no.
Mm.
So there's absolutely no way to do another rep. High intensity interval training is cardio. You're setting up a cardio system of, for example, on a treadmill, that you'll go 20 seconds all out in a minute. You'll go 20
Mm.
seconds all out sprint uphill, and then 40 seconds of just kind of walking the rest, and then
Right.
60, they hit the 60 mark, boom, 20 all out. So, and you move the clock, you can add exercises, you can do 2 or 3 in a row, but basically it's an uninterrupted
Hmm.
specific period of time that you're going to be working at a maximum, at a maximum level. So if it's running, stair climbing, rowing, whatever, an interval is a specific period of time that is separated into all out intensity and rest.
Right.
So that's what that is. So what's my question to the mom is, what's the goal? What are you
Right.
trying to do?
Yeah. So the thing is, that's what I was talking about. I wasn't talking about Mike Menser. I mean, I didn't even know about Arthur Jones, by the way. So you just taught me that. But I didn't.
Oh,
I
good.
wasn't talking about that style of weightlifting. I was talking about there's a difference between high intensity interval training and just interval training in terms of the effort
Oh,
that
yeah,
you put
yeah, yeah.
forth. Like that's what I was talking about, and that's what I mean.
Okay.
They're used interchangeably. That's Scatman has. This is a good point too. John Meadows did something similar. Warming up your leg. Yeah, I forget what he was doing. John Meadows. Rats. I don't know what that. It's going to come to me later on when it's
Yeah.
meaningless. But yeah, I do remember he had some sort of mountain dog training is what he said it was, but I don't know. I do remember that he had something that was similar. I just can't remember, man. I mean, it's all like what variations, really. It's like derivatives of what Arthur Jones slash Mike Mentzer made popular did. So yeah, the goal, I guess. Well, let's start with why do people do high intensity interval training? They do it because of what it's just they perceive it burns more fat, right? And it might, right? Because of is it like the what your epoch or whatever? I don't know.
Well, here, for fat burning, high intensity interval training is pretty good. The
Right.
thing, the message that you're trying to convey to your body is that current structure is inadequate. That's
Mm,
basically the message. Current
okay.
musculature, current status is inadequate for the workload put upon you by yourself. Okay. So that is the only way to get muscle to grow, whether it's endurance or size. The only way to get muscle to grow is to take it to past what it can do. Once you take it past what it can do, the message the body gets is, as I just said, current structure inadequate, must adapt. Body's got to adapt to survive because you're putting it under stress. Prolonged periods of stress are dangerous, and the body perceives that danger and acts accordingly. So what you got to do, either lifting weights or for endurance, fat burning, whatever, is you have to push past that point
Right.
where your brain says stop.
Yeah.
Stop is based on pain. It's not based on effort. Once you pass that and get to the point where you literally fail, that is when the brain gets the biggest message, the best message, that the current structure is inadequate and we must adapt by building muscle. However, you get there is irrelevant. Whether it's high intensity interval training, high intensity
Right.
training, low intensity training, multiple set theory, one set theory, it doesn't matter. What matters is you get to that point. You can do it with push ups, you don't even need a gym. So,
Yeah, a
you
lot of
know,
athletes use it too, right? Like a lot of athletes do that, especially if we used to do that a lot when we were training in football because at the end of our practices, a lot of times instead of just straight sprints, we would do, we'd stop and go because the idea was as it gets later in a game, you want to be able to push past the fatigue and find a way to pull yourself out of it.
sure.
Yeah, so bipolar mom says, I want to lose more fat. I've been walking and doing the spin bike. And yeah, Scabman says, lift weights. And that's that right there. Oh, wait, here's Frank. Hang on. I'm going to grab him in.
Well,
But yeah, lift weights is another one. I mean, she does, I think she lifts weights.
well, that's the purpose of circuit training, like I do.
There he is.
What's up, Frankie? Merry Christmas.
What's up, gents?
Merry
Merry
How are you?
Christmas.
Christmas.
I like your
I'm
hat.
good,
Oh,
bro. I just went to what we've all seen in many videos, what a gym would look like January 1st.
oh,
Everybody working out because they're going to eat tonight. Every
oh,
single machine at LA Fitness was taken.
oh boy. Good Lord.
Yep.
That's what you get for training at LA Fitness.
I was going to train at Bev's, but I wanted to save the 20 minutes, and boy, was I wrong.
You wasted 40 instead, right?
Seriously, every single machine was taken. So I was supposed to do chest today. I wound up doing legs.
Wow.
Oh man.
That's a desperation move right there.
Oh God,
and,
that's
and
annoying.
and and I couldn't use any free weights. I used 10 machines, 4 sets each.
Oh my God.
Inner, outer thigh,
Yeah.
back, so my
You
inner
did
thighs
that?
are.
Yeah.
You did the yes no machine?
Yeah. You take whatever's open, right? You gotta.
Wow.
I did the useless seated leg curl, which it only does absolutely nothing.
You
I
just
used
went to
some.
say you went.
I did 40 sets of something. I don't know what though, but but
Now
put it
watch
this way.
tomorrow you're going to be sore as hell. Watch.
Honestly, I feel like I just warmed up and I can go back to the gym. It's like I wound up every every friggin' everything. The whole parking lot is full. Where are these people during the year?
Nowhere.
Well,
They have to gear up to go for this one week, basically.
Gear up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they have to prepare themselves. They have to get all motivated to go for 2 weeks and then quit midway through January.
because by March they'll be done.
Mm-hmm.
We have the statistics.
Yeah.
Do you remember as a youth growing up,
No.
John, and as a bodybuilder, what were the bodybuilding Christmas gifts that you got?
Ooh.
I got a pair of some scrunch socks one year.
Oh,
I got a pair of Atomics one year. I got straps. I got
mm.
I got a gift certificate for a book of massages. I think that was the best one I ever got. And a tanning bed membership. I got one of those.
Beach bum. I love it. So 90s.
That kind of
I
shit, you know.
I got a T. Michael boat neck sweatshirt. I got a,
Wow.
a
That'd be worth
California
money today.
California body wear sweatpants. I got a Joe Weider arm blaster.
Wow.
I got the Bill Phillips Underground Steroid Handbook. I got what else did I get? And I got a Olympic incline Lou Ferrigno bench for my 14th birthday from Lou Ferrigno's dad, Matty, in Brooklyn.
Wow, really?
Oh, that's cool.
And I still have the plates to this day. That was the best gift I've ever gotten in my life, was that
Wow.
Olympic weight set, 310. You get 310 pounds, and then you get the Olympic bench that either inclines or you could do flat.
Wow.
Man, I
That's
never
a
got
gift.
bodybuilding. I did get some weightlifting stuff. Usually it was sports related. So, but yeah, I had my first like exercise piece of equipment that I got was it was like I don't even know what it was like an off-brand first of all, but it was one of those where you sit down and you put like it had like only X amount of weights could go on. You could do like shoulder presses, bench presses, and like some shrugs. It was a piece of garbage, but it's all I had, and it worked. And I just the rest I just did body weight stuff. It was all I had.
Did you ever get the chart, the Weider chart?
With
Yes.
the anatomy chart or like the
No, the chart, the exercise chart. Frankie
I don't-
knows.
I on my wall in my basement in Queens, I had a picture of Steve and Bev from Flex when Steve's hitting the side shot like this,
Yeah.
and Bev. It was on my wall when I was 13 years old in
No
my
kidding.
basement, and on the wall was, and I was looking who's on the wall, and like at that time, I put that on the wall. Now I don't know why. Like, think about that. Out of every pic, that was on the
nuts.
wall. Lee Haney,
Yeah.
Barry DeMay, and Diana Roberts, and I think it was Tony Pearson.
Wow.
You know, I would just rip out. Like, that's the thing too. I ripped out pages that had the workouts on them. So sometimes it wasn't even about like the model. It was I want the workout. But that's how I started to recognize and know people because, and now I know that how these workouts are put together. So it's kind of ridiculous, but it's like I would associate them with specific things. So anytime I would see them in an issue, I would buy it. Like I'd be like, oh, I love this person's workout, and like I better get it.
I found an old college notebook, and it's an old college notebook, and it said leg extensions, 5 sets of 12 squat. That's all I did during class was write up.
On my teenage wall, I had dragsters doing flaming burnouts, motocross bikes flying through the air, and Farrah Fawcett with the nipples sticking out.
In my bedroom, I had Samantha Fox. When I had Heather Thomas, Madonna.
Madonna? No way.
Madonna, those are the
At
big
least you'll
ones.
admit it. That's not many people will admit Madonna. That's pretty good.
No, she was 83. She had all the bangles on. I think it was like she was hot.
Yeah, I
Let me
suppose.
see. All right, couple of questions came in. First one's for John. John, Richie wants to know where your gym was in Mexico and why'd you get rid of it? And then the one after that is for everybody, and it's what are you cooking? Because you guys have big Italian families. But we'll start with the gym one first. I know we've gone over. Didn't know where. I don't think I've ever asked you where it was.
Yeah.
It was in Guadalajara. I lived in Puerto Vallarta for 6 years. Then I moved to Guadalajara, which is 3 hours away. And my gym was in Guadalajara.
Okay.
And for dinner tonight I'm going to my mother-in-law's, so I don't know. I think it's the Southern tradition to have shrimp and grits on Christmas Eve. Tomorrow I'm making lasagna, so that's the Italian side.
And you, Zach?
I don't know. I think my wife made a lasagna as well. Obviously, but here's the thing: she's got laryngitis. Like she can't talk, and she got like pretty hammered last night, so she's not feeling well. So I have to now run to the store for her, which is going to be a total nightmare. I'm terrified to get out there because I'm going to get beaten up, I'm sure. But Frank, what about you? I said when John Mancini Fitness asked this question, and I said Frank is little do people know that you are a 5-star air fryer chef. Like you.
Wow.
I am. Yes.
Yeah.
But so as far as the big Italian family, mostly everyone's dead.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Dead or moved. Yeah.
There used to be like 30, 40 people at my mom, dad's house. Now I believe tonight we're down to 6. So the German side of my family, which is my mom, we're having roast beef tonight. So having roast beef, and then I'm going out after that for another dinner. I don't know what I'm gonna have at a restaurant. And what was the second part?
Tomorrow, Christmas dinner.
Oh, Christmas dinner. I think I'm having ham.
That's a big one.
Yeah, I think I'm having ham.
Yeah,
the pineapples that you throw into the garbage right off
the bat. Frank, you ever see that meme about how an Italian eats a pineapple pizza? And he takes the pizza out and he takes the cutter, and he cuts it in half, and then he cuts it in quarters, and he cuts it and cut into eighths, and then he just takes his arm and wipes it all off into the trash.
John, I told you I went with my son to get a. I go, hey, what do you want? He goes, oh, I want a pineapple pizza. I'm like, no, seriously. He goes, no, I want pineapple pizza. I don't know. I go, really? Pineapple pizza? I go, I don't want any part of this. I said, and onions. I was like, this has got to be the grossest thing. So the guy goes, yo, my man, what do you want? And I'm like, he wants pineapple pizza, whatever. And I tried it, and it was in my car. It smells like death. It's disgusting. Yeah. I hate it.
I have this vision of eating a pineapple pizza and then dying. And I go up and I'm in front of the gates, the pearly gates, and my aunts and my grandmothers are all on the other side, and they're crying, and they're crying because they know they won't let me in because I ate a pineapple pizza, and it was the sacrilege Italian thing to do. So, yeah, you can't eat pineapple on a pizza.
This would be one of my uncles. Like, this is exactly one of my uncles. Like, if they saw something you would eat, he'd be like this. What the fuck are you eating? What the fuck are you eating? Yo, Mary, what the fuck is this kid eating? Look at this shit. He's putting pineapple on fucking pizza. Forget about it. What a fucking animal. Hey, Tommy, who taught this kid how to eat? What a fucking gabon pineapple. It's a fucking dessert. John,
I'm cutting that clip up. I'm cutting that clip up, by the way, dude. I'm cutting that for sure.
That's so classic. You have to be Italian to understand that. That's so classic. It's the father. It's always the older male that's got to make you feel like a retard, right? It's no matter what you're doing, no matter what, because it reflects on them. That's what they think.
Then you get the hand. You're like, Madon, get that fucking thing away from me. Hey, I'm not fucking joking. I'm gonna throw that pizza across the fucking street. Get that shit away from me. Disgusting.
It's so true. I don't know why that bothers us so much. And you can put anything else on a pizza. They have goat cheese, truffles.
Yeah.
No matter anything. You could put car parts on a pizza, and it's except pineapple. If you put pineapple and ham on a pizza, you're going to Italian hell. That's what you're doing.
None of these snowflakes these days were able to handle an Italian family. None of these people
No
they're
way.
loud, they
No.
yell, they tell you exactly in your mind. You walk through the house after the gym, my father be sitting there reading the New York Post, put it down. You stink! Get the fuck out of here! Go take a shower, you stink! Like, that would cripple kids. Oh my God, and my father said I stink, you know? And they'd be like, you went to the gym? What are those 2 strings you're holding? Oh, those are your biceps. Oh, I'm sorry. You know, like, damn it. No. Oh, where'd you get those pants? Where'd you get those pants? You going clam digging? Oh, what is there, a flood somewhere? There's no way kids can handle that shit.
Or if you were doing something, that reflected on your father, because he's supposed to teach you everything, right? So one Saturday I was raking the leaves. I had to rake leaves. And my father comes out on the stoop. He's got his cigar in his mouth, and he's in his boxer shorts with a T-shirt, and he's watching me. He takes a puff off his cigar. He goes, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm raking leaves." He goes, "Who taught you to rake leaves like that?" "I didn't teach you to rake leaves like that. If somebody drives by and sees you raking leaves like that, they're going to think I taught you how to rake leaves like that."
That was my grandfather with the broom. Same thing. Who taught you? Nobody. Nobody. I saw it done.
Okay. Anybody remember? Okay, this is from Taylor Sharp. Anybody remember Mohammed Mohsen from Dreamtan? I have never heard of that person in my life.
I know Muhammad Makawi, Mohammed Benaziza. I do not know that.
Yeah, me too. I'm at a loss with that one.
Sorry, man. I don't know.
From Egypt, Muhammad Makawi. He was a small body, but he was good. And Benaziza beat Dorian Yates at the I was going to say New York Pro, but Night of Champions.
Night of Champions, yeah.
So wait, it was Night of Champions, and then it became New York Pro?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I think you've mentioned it before, but I just didn't. I never.
Well, Wayne D'Amelia used to be the promoter of it when it was at the Beacon Theater. That was the New York Pro. I mean, that was the Night of Champions, and then there was the fallout, and then Weinberger took it and turned it into the New York Pro.
Wait, what fallout? Am I?
With D'Amelia? Yeah, that was a huge mess. That's how we lost the Olympia at the Mandalay Bay. That whole thing went down.
Oh, geez, I don't know anything about this. I really don't.
92.
It was 92.
Yeah,
right?
92 was when LeBron won the Night of Champions. And I'll never forget that. That was insane. When you saw Kevin LeBron at the 92 Nationals and you were an up-and-coming bodybuilder, that was like the physique of the physiques. That was he had an amazing physique. I think he just won the Nationals, and then he went right straight into that show. And you had to see this guy. It's amazing. The delts on him. Yeah, and it was packed. The Beacon was always packed too.
Yep, and what a crowd at the Beacon. The audience at the Beacon Theater was second to none. They were nuts. They were absolutely insane, and because it was like the bodybuilding freak show. I remember Paco Bautista. You remember Paco Bautista when he won?
Yep.
He won the Night of Champions. That place went berserk. No one had seen. He was like a phenomenon. He came out of nowhere. He had these insane legs. Remember? And the audience at the Beacon Theater went. I've never been experienced an audience reaction like that anywhere. It was always at the Beacon. The New York drew this incredible crowd that got, for some reason, focused on that theater. I don't know why, but unlike anywhere else, the audience at the Beacon Theater for a bodybuilding show was incredible.
There was only a couple of shows a year. That's why, because they only had the
Good
opportunity to
point.
go to that show. Now, think about that. You had that show. You had the Iron Man, right? You had the Arnold. Then you had the Olympia, and then you had the shows, the European tour after that.
Mhm.
Those are
Right.
those are the key shows. Now, there's got to be a couple of hundred pro
Man.
shows.
Probably, right?
Hundreds.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
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 I mean, think about that. That's why there was only fucking 3 pro cards, given out. Like, there's only
Yeah.
fucking
Now
only
you
10
can
shows.
now you can play poker with the pro cards.
Oh god,
Okay.
you know that.
New,
Oh,
go ahead, dude.
Sorry.
John Mancini Fitness asked, have you guys seen the new Lee Priest documentary? I have not seen it. I didn't even hear about it. He says he thinks it's on Vimeo.
Oh,
I don't
cool.
know. I never saw the old one, so I didn't even know.
I'll check it out. I'll check it out if it's around.
Yeah.
He was a
I,
great, he was a great
he
bodybuilder.
told me
Like,
about it. It's supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah. What is
Yeah.
so? Did he tell you like what does it focus on? Is it if you already did one
Bodybuilding.
before?
His bodybuilding career.
Okay, so it's just okay.
It was like that Phil Heath one that came out, like the Ronnie Coleman one, Ronnie the King. Did you see that one, The King? That was a really good documentary.
I saw
That
that
was-
was
I-
wild, right? When you,
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
You
I
didn't?
probably know. No, the Phil Heath one. No, I don't watch.
No,
any of that.
the Ronnie Coleman one, The King.
No, I don't think I saw that. Oh wait,
Dude, that brought tears. I cried during
no,
that.
that's why I don't want to be
honestly
upset.
did.
Yeah,
There was a partner that was so sad, and man, his attitude. You even got to wonder if it's real. I mean, how could anybody have that
Right.
good of an attitude about such a situation? But man, he sure does.
Yes.
Incredible
but
man.
that's like the key. But that's the key to getting over it, right? Is finding that positivity. Because the minute you let yourself go down, it gets worse and worse. So I don't know if it's an act, but I wish I had a fraction of that positivity, man.
So do I.
He gave me an amazing testimonial for Seppi Protein Treat in his car. He's like, Seppi Protein Treat, off the chain. Yeah, buddy. And he's eating it. He's like, good. It was like, he didn't need to do
Wow.
that. He did that for me. But Jose, my partner in Seppi Nutrition, he is really good friends with him. And Ronnie checks in on him. How you doing? How's it going, bro? Like, all good, positive stuff. Like,
Mhm.
like he's really good guy, man. He's always been a good guy.
Always. He gave me the best compliment ever in my entire career when Palumbo and I got fired from muscular development. What his comment on that was like, that touched me in a way like I'll remember that forever. That
What do you say? Don't keep us in the dark.
He said, he made some kind of like that voice. He goes, they fired John Romano? He goes, John Romano is muscular development. What the hell is he doing? He went off on this rant and it just made me feel so good. It was,
That's nice.
at the right time, when I
Yeah.
needed it. So
Sure.
yeah, that was really cool. I owe him for that.
That's really cool.
Zach, you are muscle and fitness, Zach.
No, here's the thing. It's funny because on one side of it, everyone is like, "You're not muscle and fitness. You're not a bodybuilder," and I'm like, "Okay." Like, and then the other side of it's like, you're not muscle and fitness. You're not competing in like the high rocks. I'm like, dude, I'm a guy that's I was an editor. I was a writer. I was a person that just experiences this. So it's funny how. Some people, especially when you look at some comments and videos that we do, they're like, who's the guy that doesn't lift weights? I'm like, I do, just not like a bodybuilder.
Just not like you do.
Right, yeah. And it's totally fine.
Zach's going to the what is it, Lollapalooza? The Miami Beach
Wadapalooza.
Fitness Festival.
Yeah. With you.
Miami Beach Fitness, January 22nd. Zach and I are going
Wow.
3 full days of 8-hour shooting.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Now where's this going to be?
South Beach.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a nice place to be in January.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There's only so much you can do at these things. So 8 hours of shooting, I don't think that the folks realize that you don't need that. It's complete, it's overkill, right? Like only so much happens. It's kind of like a marathon, right? Like people, they run in different spots. It's the same thing here. Like they're doing different activities, but you don't need to get everybody doing every activity. It just doesn't. It doesn't make sense, and it's also
That's what it
not.
says. That's
Yeah,
what it
exactly.
says on the feed.
Yeah, yeah. It's
There's a
yeah.
whole
It's
nighttime thing. What are you
Well, it
talking
must be
about? There's a whole
true.
nighttime jacuzzi.
yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah, like it's funny because Frank and I have been to like a million of these things, and the, we just didn't say much. But then afterwards, we chatted. It's like we could knock this out like that. It's like not
Yeah,
at all this complicated.
but you guys are missing the boat. You're in South Beach, so there's so much walking the street that you can do to have fun. Down there and on Collins Avenue and Ocean Avenue. I would spend more time out on the street and on the beach, filming people and interviewing people than I
Oh
would
God,
at that
I've
thing.
been there
Because
1,000 times, and I'm at the News Cafe eating fondue with all the like desserts that you dip into the chocolate sauce.
yeah,
And I'm sitting there in a tank top or whatever with my girlfriend at the time, and this guy walks by and he stops and he goes, "I can't believe Seppi's eating fondue." I'm like, "Are you fucking serious? Like, if you were here 20 minutes early, you could have saw me down 30 mimosas. I would have really
what
rocked your world."
is there a list of foods Frankie's not supposed to go near? Is that what the deal is?
It was so
Yeah,
funny. I was like, "Oh man," I'm like, "What am I supposed? What, I'm not supposed to eat this? It's on the menu."
yeah,
Zach, we're gonna knock it out, like, because
yeah.
everything's on a schedule. So certain things start at 6 p.m. as opposed to 8 a.m. So we need to be on set at 8 a.m., then 6 p.m., then at 12 p.m., then at 2 p.m. I just
Wow.
hope you got to get how you get to fuel up for this.
Uh,
Seppi protein treats. This is a perfect
No, no,
example.
no. He's got. You know what you got to do?
what's that?
You're gonna have to like. You can't drink coffee because you get dehydrated.
Yeah.
You can't. You have. You need it the whole day.
The whole day.
It's just funny. I don't know. It's just funny when we're you talk to people that haven't done this type of thing before, and then they have this
Oh,
idea in their head of what to do, and then the reality is much different. It's kind of like if you said, "Go to the expo." You have to be there from open to close. You really don't need to be there from open to close. Like if you're covering like the Olympia Expo, right? You don't or the Arnold Expo. You don't need to be there the whole day to get what you need at all. Like there's just no
but unless you go into specific places, specific times, that's
yeah.
what we're
Well,
doing.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's funny shooting all these years and stuff. For decades, like you learn the lay of the land, and like I remember shooting with Per Banal about 35 times, and you're lucky if you get a kookaroo chicken entire 12, 13 hours
Yeah.
of the shoots, or you don't drink water because you want to stay ripped or whatever. So at these events, I watch the people who don't know what they're doing. So they come to the event, they're wearing like onion skin shorts with no shirt, and they come out and they're like, they look good. And then you watch them throughout the day and they slowly, slowly look worse and worse and worse and
Yeah,
worse.
they start
They're
skating. Yeah.
sunburned. They start retaining water in their stomachs. Now that 6 pack is now a 2 pack. All the cuts are out of their legs, and they're exhausted. So that's why I was telling you, Zach, you don't what the worst thing to do in the middle of the sun is to wear the least amount of clothes, no matter how ripped
Mhm.
you are. Ask John.
Yep.
Oh
That's
yeah.
the stupidest thing. You'll be peeling your skin off
Yep.
like I
Yep.
said before. Like you'll be like,
But also, like, what? So what, it's not even going to be. It'll probably be what, like 60s or 70s. I'm assuming in Miami at this time
oh
at
yeah,
the end
that's
of
right.
January.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's that that'll be
it
fine.
can get it can be in the 80s too. It's
Yeah.
very
Okay.
unpredictable.
All
Yeah,
right. Well, hopefully it's
absolutely.
Not
it's
for
really
us.
cooler. Yeah, I know. Hopefully it's cooler. I didn't even really look at the schedule. It was on the screen. I just didn't really take a look at it. But it's again, like Frank said, you figure out when exciting things are going to happen, and then you just go there. What you don't do is camp yourself out and wait all day in hopes of something happening because
Right.
it's like watching. What is it? The watch pot never boils. So that's what happens here. Nothing happens. So
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. Plus, if you know something's going to happen or know somebody big is going to be there, you just focus on that. Then you got the whole rest of the day free because how much video can you post? You know,
Exactly.
Apparently a lot. We get 30 minutes on YouTube and everything else. But you know what we need to do? I need to get that Muscle and Fitness T-shirt over to Don Saladino for him to cut it, the sleeves off.
Yeah. Wait, he cut
he's
your
going to turn
sleeves
it
off
into
your
a
other one?
spaghetti strip.
Don's a magician when it comes to cutting the sleeves off of shirts. He's like a tailor. He's very precise. He's got the correct scissors. He's cut probably 10, 12 shirts for me. Like he's got a method.
You
I
know,
did not know this. I did not know this about him.
Yes. We
I
put
always
up a
cut out
videos.
the neck. Sorry.
Okay.
I always cut out the neck bands. That was my thing because my neck used to be really big, and I was always like this. So I would always cut the neck band out of the t-shirts. I left the sleeves alone, but the neck had to go.
Oh man, I'm sitting in front of King Cullen right now. And there's
For
like,
those of you who don't know, that's a supermarket.
yeah, I'm watching like the mega amount of people running there to get last minute items. I'm like,
Yeah, that's
Zack's
gonna be that's
going.
gonna be that's gonna be me. That's gonna be me.
gonna
I'm
be
gonna be
Zack.
one of those people. Oh God.
I went Monday. I went yesterday to do the food shopping for
crazy.
Christmas. And I figured it would be more like, today would be the nuts day, but yesterday was insane. There was no parking outside of Publix. There was people everywhere and they're all doing the stupidest shit. Man, it drove me nuts. But well, I don't know why that is. Why when you congregate a bunch of humans, it invariably brings out the mass stupidity. It's unbelievable.
It's
You take
tough.
them by themselves, they're nuclear physicists. You put four of them together and they're retards. I don't understand.
Frank, I
I
want to show you
really
something.
had. What do you got?
Well, last time, you remember when we were actually talking about this? Hang on.
Is that a Daughtry T-shirt? No.
No,
Wait.
it was my Blockbuster shirt.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Be
Yeah.
kind, rewind.
My Blockbuster shirt. We were talking about it last time, how, we'd go to Blockbuster Video back in the day, and I remembered having this shirt. I have way too many like novelty shirts, by the way. I'm realizing it's like pretty sad, but whatever,
I love. Oh, you gotta get number. Oh, is Rocky 5 out? Oh, it's out. Who has it? Is it coming back? Blockbuster.
What a
yesterday.
story of. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I was just going to say
no,
about
you see-
Blockbusters.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we have a delay.
Oh, yeah,
Frankie,
there's
you
a
go.
huge delay. Oh no, I was just gonna say. Well, you were talking about the crowds, John, and you'd be proud of me. Yesterday, I went to Dick's Sporting Goods, right, and I was buying a Yeti drink, like a container.
Yeah, like a
Cup. Yeah, Yeti cup.
no good.
And no, we're down. So this guy, I don't know if he had Asperger's or what, but he had a cart of stuff. He walked right in front of me. Here's Yeti, and here's that, where my face was against the back of his head, and stood there for like 60 seconds to get his cups, and no excuse me,
Oh,
no
boy.
nothing.
Wow.
It bothered me for like 3 hours after that because I didn't say anything and do anything because I was like, it's Christmas. I'm not going to make a scene in Dick's. He's probably buying cups for his family. So let me just. But I wanted to say, don't you have any etiquette, manners, or anything at all? You could have said, excuse me. I would be happy to step away. I was like
Yeah.
standing right in front, but he squeezed right. Almost like when you're waiting for your luggage and is there like 3 feet in front of you and people just slide right in front of you. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I was like,
That is so
who does
weird.
that?
Yeah,
Right?
so bizarre.
But
Well,
but it's only when you put them in mass. When by themselves are like normal people, but when you put them in a crowd, something happens. It's worse in the gym. In the gym, people turn into complete slovenly, disgusting people. I can't believe it. But you take them out of the gym, and they're like I say, like a nuclear physicist. But then you put them in a crowd, and they denigrate. I don't know what the deal is. I really don't.
Man, I was talking about this girl, Zach, that left the plates in LA Fitness in Smithtown on all the plates. And I went into Smithtown the other day to train because I had to go to the bank. And she, I see her in the corner of my eye, and some guy is complaining. She left 645s on each
Oh my
side
god.
on the Smith machine for doing, hip thrusts. She left. She left a 45s on the squat machine on the squat rack,
Oh my
right?
god.
And like dumbbells because she was supersetting split squats.
What a slob.
And she was walking out, and the guy was yelling, "Why don't you put your weights away?" And she was walking out like she didn't care. I guess, I mean, like, who does that? And
That's
the guy's like, "She
awful.
does this shit every morning." He's like, "I bet you, he's like, well, I'm not here to clean up your mess." I
Yeah,
was
that's
laughing like
awful.
some guy. I'm like,
I can't. But that's
they
the
don't
thing.
care.
But when there's no repercussions, that's what happens. People, it's a green light to keep doing it. Whereas we talked about this. Places like Bev's, you're gonna get a warning. Maybe, maybe you won't. But still, you're gonna learn to respect the space. I don't understand that mentality though of leaving your stuff there, leaving a mess for other people to clean. It's just so degrading. It's awful.
Yeah, it's bad. Like I said, the gym brings out the worst in people. I'm telling you,
Gosh.
I watched it happen, time day after day in my gym. I
Oh
could
man.
not understand how people change so much just by walking into a building.
You're right. Yeah,
Oh.
I saw this like 35,000 square foot gym for sale the other day. And I'm driving with my friend, and I go, "You know what?" I said, "I'm gonna buy that." And he goes, "Are you kidding me?" He goes, "You in the gym?" He goes, "You didn't have any members. You would throw everybody out for every infraction." I go, "You didn't let me finish my statement." I said, "I would buy it and lock the doors and train there myself." I said, I would use it as a branding place. We're like, "Oh, come on in and shoot," like Lululemon. We'll
Yeah.
charge you $1,000 a shoot. I go, "Close to the public." I go, "You're forgetting the whole thing." Because if you go into the gym like I just went to this gym, there's 30 infractions in the first 2 minutes that I could
Yeah.
see off my best. That I could make a gym arrest. I could
Yeah.
Yeah.
make a gym arrest and put him in gym jail.
Yeah, dude, you should.
Yeah.
We need to get the gym police out and start to go bust some of these people because it's I don't know when I was going to LA Fitness. I was going. It was actually what was it? 24-hour fitness. It was the word. It was the same thing. It
Yeah,
was both I went
yeah.
to, and it was just horrible. Like just puddles of sweat. Like I would put my hands down on something, and I had to pick it back up, and it'd just be dripping with somebody
Smell it.
else's sweat. Oh yeah, awful. Oh,
My,
Yeah.
my,
Ugh.
my favorite LA fitness story is the one I've told many times. There was, there's in some of them they have a basketball court, and the basketball
yeah,
Yeah.
court's got a glass wall, right, with the two glass
right.
doors in it. So this guy puts 135 on his back like he's going to do squats, and then he starts walking over to the basketball court. So he's going to do walking lunges in the basketball court with 135 on his shoulders. So he gets to it's on his shoulders. So he gets to the doors, and he reaches or holds this and opens one of the doors and tries to go in, like this.
Oh
And
no.
and the door starts closing. The door hits the plate, and those safety glass shatters into 3 billion pieces of little rectangles like that, right? So the door literally explodes in midair. It's like shattered and falls into a pile.
Oh my
This guy
god.
goes like this and walks in and does it didn't phase him. He didn't even notice. He's like, what's that? It sounded like maybe went bump out in the parking lot. I don't know. Destroyed the door, completely shattered it. And he goes and he does like 50 laps with the thing, and then he comes back. He walks through the broken door
Oh
to go.
my god. He's like, what a
Well,
terrible place to
the
put a door.
ropes.
Yeah.
You
I'm
do the
saying at least they
tricep.
put
You
his
know that.
weights back.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what you
true.
do? There's two. You know when you do cable crossovers, you have one side and you have the other side. So I'm doing rope pull downs, and there's a guy and he's doing rope overhead, so he's coming near me, right? So I'm like, oh, whatever, share. And so he starts doing this,
Oh.
right in my,
Oh.
and then to hear him swallow that goob,
Oh.
But
Oh,
every set, because he can't breathe, he's like,
God. Oh my God.
and
Oh.
yeah, that was yesterday.
God.
Oh my God.
So,
Oh, that is
I
No.
mean,
gross.
my father's like, don't let everything bother you. And I'm like, but it does.
Well, I mean,
It
dude,
does.
yeah, who wouldn't be bothered by that? It is gross to hear that. And also, like, the thing is with me, once I hear it once, now I'm like subconsciously listening for it. And I'm thinking
Right,
about
right, right.
the disgusting
Yeah.
swallowing it, like the journey it's going to take. Oh,
Dude,
it's just,
there was a guy deadlifting, right, at LA Fitness. So there's chalk everywhere on the floor at LA Fitness. Who brings chalk to LA Fitness, right? He's like, he's got like, I think he's got 4 plates on. He's like, let's do this.
oh,
Licks his hand. He starts
oh,
deadlifting. I was like,
oh,
You ever see the
holy,
guys
God.
that spit in their hands and then they go like
yeah,
this? You ever see that?
son, he
Oh,
licked his hands. I wanted to paint
oh,
the barbell so I knew which one he used. So I would
oh,
never
just
ever
makes
use
me
it.
sick. Oh my God,
But
that's
yeah,
so
I,
gross, man.
who would like forget about COVID and everything else. The dude licked his hands. Like how many
No,
people touched that bar?
exactly. And where were
Yeah.
their
Hundred
hands? You
thousand.
know?
And then
Oh,
where are your hands going to go?
yep,
The thing is,
exactly.
Jimmy
you
the
do
Bull won't. Yeah, Jimmy won't shit in the bathroom in there in the gym. Imagine if he
Yep.
grabbed the barbell.
And the thing is, you do stuff like this. You do
Yeah.
subconsciously. You know, you
Yeah,
do this,
Yep.
or you grab, open, you pick something out of your tooth or something, and then you have now ingested all of these aberrant germs, and you're gonna. Oh man, I've seen the best one ever. The best one ever. There was this guy who would go on the I don't know, the elliptical or whatever. And every one of these machines, I was at LA Fitness, in fact, had a rubber mat under it. Okay. And he's on this thing. He is sweating. I have never seen a person sweat. I think it must have been a disorder or something. It was like pumping out of him. I don't know how he didn't dehydrate and shrivel up on the spot. I mean, he was literally
Oh,
dripping like a faucet. It's all over that net. He is soaking wet and he's wearing Crocs. And his Crocs are going squish,
oh.
squish, squish as he would. And he goes over to this bench where one of his compadres had been there before. And the bench has this huge puddle where someone's head
oh,
was. They didn't wipe it off. And he's sitting on the edge of the bench, dripping wet. And he does whatever he was doing. Then he lays back to do whatever he was going to do on that bench. And I'm watching this whole thing. I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. And I don't know how he even knew. He lays down into that puddle where the
Oh.
other guy's head was, and he jumped up like he hit an electric cord,
oh,
like how did you even
Oh.
feel that? You're soaking
Oh.
wet, and you're going to feel somebody else's puddle. But it was like almost like just desserts. It was like, yeah, lay down in it. Go ahead, come on. I'm waiting for you. Lay down in that puddle. Go ahead. And I
but
watched
it's
So,
that.
everywhere, man. It's even in expensive places like the yoga place that I
mhm.
went to. The mats are pretty close together, so you had someone was in the front and they wanted to move between me and another person. Now it's 135 degrees in there, so your water's coming out of everywhere. And I don't know what this person was doing, gargling duty. I don't know what they were doing, but they basically smell like an outhouse. And it's accentuated by the 135 degrees. So,
Oh.
and there's no air. So it's 100% humidity. So now it smells like you just went to the bathroom and now it's permeating through, you know, every every motion is coming. It's like punching you in the face. It's
Yeah.
like
Oh.
it's
Dude.
like
Nothing subtle.
downward dog. Whoosh. It's like going for the knockout.
Man,
So
Uh-huh.
so
bad, man.
I was telling Frank this that last time we were together in a gym, I had to take a leak. And we were there all day doing a lot of work and stuff. But I ran in, and I usually am in and out. But it just reminded me why I am so deliberate when I go into the bathroom in gyms because I was peeing. I went to wash my hands, and the loudest, most explosive diarrhea was like one very small, like, or like right in the stall, and I'm just like, oh, like, oh, like just it was so, just like
And you're wondering when that cloud is
yeah,
going to hit you.
yeah, and I'm just like, I'm like, get out of here! Like I'm trying to get out of there as fast as I can, and it just like it stuck with me. That sound, like it was like this, it was echoey. Oh,
It's like an M80 popping off.
oh God! And look, I get it. It happens to everybody, but I'm like, I just didn't want to be around for it. I didn't want to be
Oh,
there.
man.
That was a rough one.
Yeah, man. That everything's so close together. Oof.
I could write a whole book on member experiences at the gym that like
should.
blow your mind. You see the most. I'm telling you, the gym is like no other place on earth when it comes to weird human behavior.
Oh, God.
Lifetime Fitness isn't Lifetime Fitness like $300 a month?
Yeah, it's
What?
You think
pricey.
that's better? Don't they
What?
do you
I
think
don't
that's
know.
a better like crowd as far as like keeping it clean
What do you get
or
in there?
is it a self-entitlement thing where
That's a good. I
they
don't
don't
know, man.
care?
Yeah, I think it would be
You know?
worse with that level of
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
I mean,
More.
I went to the $800 gym a month in Manhattan, and it was pretty much everyone had trainers, so they still didn't
Worse.
put the weights away. Like so I don't know.
What do you
Open
get?
your
I
own
mean,
place.
versus $50 versus $800. What do you get?
You get one of the top trainers at NYC, bro.
Oh, they're included. The trainer's
Yeah,
included in
so
that price.
no, that's the baseline price, and then you have to pay your trainer.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Ooh, I
But
didn't
you
know
have
that.
access to to these magnificent trainers.
Jeez, man.
Wow.
So you pay. I wonder, yeah. I mean, but think about it. If you're in Manhattan and you're paying what 10 grand a month, 10 grand a year for a gym, 800 a month. I think that's what Equinox is too, 800 a month, something like that.
Is
On
it?
Crosby Street,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's around. It's
God.
pricey.
Crunch is up there too,
Wow.
isn't it?
Crunch used to be. I used to train at the one in Lafayette back in
Oh
the
my
day.
God.
Crunch, and it wasn't that expensive. But a lot of it's trainer based.
Good
And some,
grief.
like Lifetime Fitness, you have concierge service. There's a ton of stuff in there, but I don't know. I don't know. I
Yeah.
haven't ventured in there. I don't know if that's the move. Then you have to hear people talk about stocks
Yeah,
and
exactly. Yeah.
and Bitcoin
Yeah.
and their LDLs. All the old people in LA Fitness gather around on the bikes and talk about their HDL and their LDL and how many walks and the government. And I want I'm not ready for that yet.
No, no, I'm with you, man. Plus, I'm in and out. I'm not there to hang out and just socialize. That's just not what I'm in a gym for. But
But
that's me, man.
Planet Fitness gets what $9.99 a month, $10 a month they
Yeah,
get,
I think
and
so.
you get to eat. I mean, they got pizza night, they got they got bagels in the morning, they got a big bowl of Tootsie Rolls on the counter. You could, if you're,
Wow.
I mean, when my son was, dead broke, he joined LA Planet Fitness, so more for the food than the training.
Just go to Costco for the samples. Go to
Yeah,
Costco for the
yeah,
samples.
eat there.
Yeah, go there on a Saturday. You'll eat like a king.
Yeah. All the samples.
What's up,
Yeah.
Jason? Jason's looking for a help on steroid resource. Maybe I think John might be able to help you. We'll see. What do we got?
Really
What
use
is
it
it?
on a steroid source? Yeah, that's like the most illegal question you can ask somebody.
Yeah, exactly. How about
Yeah.
this? Like, what do you what substance do you have a question about? It's definitely not
It's
advised to use it because if it's illegal, but maybe we can talk about it.
well,
Yeah.
look, man. You're gonna go to your steroid dealer and get something that is a big probability that it's fake, right? And you're not gonna get any blood work. And if it's real, you're not going to get any blood work, and you're just putting yourself in a really bad position. So go to your doctor.
Yeah,
Well,
that too.
that's that. I mean, that's perfect advice as a first pass, but doctor's not always going to give you the script, so you got to find a source. The thing is, online now, unlike it was back in the old days, online is a very good place to look because people rate the sellers. So
But let's not even get into this. We're not condoning any of this shit.
no,
No,
Expect you
no,
don't know if
no,
this
no.
guy is 12 years old or 25
Yeah,
or
we
30.
exactly.
Like,
No. What's what I'm
don't go
saying?
on any. Don't go on anything. And
Go to the go get your blood
go to
work done. Go to your doctor. Yeah, but John's
yeah.
saying if you're an older person, John, look, basically we're just trying to remove
Older,
all
go to
liability.
TRT. Yeah, go to
What
TRT.
What I'm really saying is, don't ask us. Go look it up because
Yeah.
there's plenty of there's plenty of resources available if you just look online.
Legit.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need us.
Not Joey Green Dumpster.
Yeah.
Meet me by the Green Dumpster.
Behind the green dumpster.
Behind the Green Dumpster.
All right.
I gotta go get 2 Christmas cards, Zach.
Yeah, we
For my
got to get them
nephew
for.
and niece.
Oh,
Nephew
nice.
and niece. I gotta go get the money holder gift card things, and it's gonna be a shit show, right? It's CVS pharmacy. I'm gonna lose
Yeah.
my mind. I know it.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. No, I have to do the same, and it's gonna be horrible. And yeah, it's pretty much the worst. But maybe I should just go get it done sooner than later. He's 47 years old, says Jason, and I have had my. Well, dude, if you're 47 years old, chances are
You're low.
I mean, look, I went.
You're
I'm 40.
low.
I'm 41, and I went to the doctor at 39 or 40, and I was low. And guess what? It was no problem, no struggle at all to get a script for that, and I have been. But like John said, there's probably other alternatives. I've just never gone that route. But if that's the case, dude, you should have no problem going to the doctor.
Yeah. I mean, just along with everything else, you just got to educate yourself. If you're considering going down that path, then what you need to do is learn about it. You don't just ask somebody what their advice is. Research it, know yourself, educate yourself, because this is a big, major decision you're going to make for your health, and you need to be well informed. You can only listen to so many podcasts. At some point, you got to actually look the shit up and understand what you're doing.
That's true.
And also understand how it's gonna, even after that, it may react differently for you. So you have to be willing to think about things, and you may have to adapt. That's the other thing. Some people just double down on what's not working for them, and it makes it worse. And then they say, "Oh, it didn't work for me." Well, okay, but you didn't really try any trial and error. So
Right, and that's
really
great
fat.
point, Zach.
You what?
I just want to get really fat
Yeah. Well, then you know what you shouldn't eat
for 2025.
is a delicious protein treat from Seppi Nutrition, because they will not. There's 180 calories, 15 grams of protein, 3 grams of net carbs. Come on, that's what you don't eat if you want to get.
That's exactly right.
What if I dip it in cream cheese?
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
telling
that
you,
works.
dipping them in chocolate's the
Oh my
best, Frank. You got to dip them. You got to melt some chocolate and
get-
dip it in there. They're unbelievable.
Chocolate peanut butter's out next week.
Ooh,
Wow.
I'm excited.
So now is that an actual layer of peanut butter in there, or how did you work that?
Peanut butter's inside, swirling, and Belgium chocolate crisps.
Look,
Peanut butter
listen.
swirling in.
If it's too late to get somebody Seppi protein treats for Christmas, listen, why not get them for the new year? Have them start the new year right.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because that illustrates an important point that I like to make. I never buy people or give people because sometimes I make them Christmas presents on Christmas. Never. I wait until after Christmas, so all the rush is over. They've gotten all their gifts. They're all gifted out, and now
50% off.
And I have a wonderful gift for you that is just keep prolonging the Christmas spirit and giving you an elongated experience. You get to enjoy
What do
the
you-
holiday that many days or more.
Are you buying people Christmas decorations at 75% off the next day?
Yeah, because the sales are Chris day after Christmas. I take advantage of them, and then they get their gift, New Year's.
Oh,
And
good
then
Lord.
John's buying nativity sets for everybody.
No, John gets all the open box. That's why
Light
it's
up
like
one,
it's
no,
heavily
the
discounted.
LED nativity set. They're like half price on it's the 27th.
Like Valentine's Day candy. You just hold it for the whole year. The next day you gotta hold it.
I love.
Does Russell Stouffer go out of does it expire? Chocolate?
Just gets better.
Yeah. Listen, Jason, we'll get to that next time, I promise, because he gave a little more details. But listen, we've gone on for an hour 15. It's got to get running here. We got holiday stuff to do. But listen, want to thank everybody for commenting. We had more than 100 messages today. Oh, that's awesome. And thanks for the support all year. You guys have been awesome.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, cool.
Have a great
Well,
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. See you later.